In part three of From the Heart, Choosing Surrender, I discuss how as we find our balance with our heart and brain, we surrender on deeper levels. And at the end of that video, something came through to me that I, as the more spiritually led twin, the FI, as I surrender on deeper levels, then so too does my twin. And of course, because our energy reflects in each other. But I felt that there was something more to this than just saying that we surrender on deeper levels. And so I want to get into that in this video of what's happening and especially what's happening through the masculine intern. Something I've been getting throughout my journey, and I'm still learning about it, is the difference between trying to force a manifestation and allowing manifestation to occur. Forcing a manifestation can cause stress in many ways, and it also causes resistance with your energy of manifesting. That resistance can even bring about the opposite of what you want. Allowing is trusting in what I believe is our own divinity, and also, as we are our own creator, and our soul is the spark of source creation, so also trusting in that higher power. When we're able to just allow and feel trust, we have peace in the process and are in greater acceptance of a more organic outcome because we're aligned with that natural flow. And as we fine tune our relationship with our higher self, we get into our unique balance of ego and intuition, heart brain coherence, and other areas of balance with our higher self. When we get to this place, we're living more from our heart, and when we do that, we choose surrender in a different way, which opens us to deeper levels of surrendering. So, how does this affect the MI? Starting from when our shared soul was awakened, I want to look at the journey of the matrix twin, as they usually start out as the one who's deeper in the matrix. But keep in mind, this is my experience, and most of what I received has been what my higher self has shown me for mine and my twins dynamic. And at times, some of the details may not have always been there, but they eventually came in. And a lot of what I got came through sensing him. Some of it just came as a knowing, some of it as a word or visions. It just helped me in different ways to put together his experience. And this is actually not something I've tried to force. Well, I did somewhat in the beginning when things were coming to me. There were times that I tried to force getting more of him this way. But as I got better at trusting my higher self, I got better at just allowing my journey, my growth, my healing, my knowledge, including what's going on with my other experiencer. But it's all been a process, a journey. And the more I allowed, the more I actually had come to me without even asking or thinking on it, which is the way my higher self leads me. In the beginning, when we experience soul recognition, what I call the oblivious soul awakens to itself in both people. Both are awakened to each other, but I think most are not awakened to their spiritual journey as a shared soul just yet. They're aware of the intensity, but they're both usually in denial in the beginning, and then the MI usually denies for even longer. This all happens through duality, and it happens to trigger the separation. Eventually, the MI surrenders, though they can stay in activation if they continue denying their guidance. Once they surrender, they come to some realizations about some things that they've experienced since meeting their counterpart, because what they've been getting has mostly come through subconsciously, and it's now rising to a conscious level. They gradually begin accepting the FI with their mind, because that's the part that was in contrast with the divine energy during activation. It's why they ran. The divine energy makes the feminine overwhelmingly magnetic, which actually serves the divine energy's purpose and makes the masculine run. And there's a lot that goes into that, which I've discussed in plenty of other videos, but they feel so drawn to the FI. It's so unexpected and goes against pretty much everything they've built their world around, so they have to get away. This is the ego fighting the divine energy. Throughout their journey, as they surrender more, they experience more on a conscious level, and they begin acknowledging or at least questioning the supernatural occurrences. And I believe they begin associating that with the FI. They go through healing, mostly through balancing with the lower three chakras, which in our balance is our divine masculine energy. They begin expressing more outwardly and through giving. They gradually get to a place where they feel balance with their head and heart concerning the FI, and they're following their subconscious cues, which has been leading them through most of their growth. After getting to a fairly well balanced state in each of the chakras, they move into the heart chakra with the FI and begin experiencing growth from the heart. And it's not that we don't still have imbalances, but we've healed the really stuck parts of the deep wounds and traumas that just kept our physical state from flowing with our soul design. And we'll still go through healing with some of that and other things, but now we're in a state of flow, which mirrors in the masculine energy as grounding, which is divine masculinity. We're open to our guidance and we're able to allow healing through that guidance of flowing and grounding. And their head and heart are open to their growth and healing. And it may be that some still don't recognize this as a spiritual journey, but they still go through the same growth and healing. So, as I experience deeper surrender from my head and my heart, consciously choosing to surrender, so too does my other experiencer. And that's something I got about a year into my journey, was that each time I surrendered, so did he at the same time. It just may have happened for him in different ways because he was at a different place in the journey than I was, because that was during separation. That was something I was led to through synchronicities with dates, and was guided to look up those dates in my journal. And through some really big signs, I later realized he was surrendering in those moments of my surrender. So they began moving through their journey more consciously, choosing to act on more than a feeling. They know what they're doing and why. And since moving into the heart space, I've been going through what seems like deeper healing through divine masculine energy. So this could be reflecting in my counterpart as deeper healing through divine feminine energy. And it's bringing them into a more conscious experience of their journey. And a side note, I read something the other day where someone talked about healing our divine feminine and divine masculine energy. We aren't healing our divine energy. It's healing our wounded energy. And one of the really great things about all of this is how our free will aligns with our divine plan as we balance with our higher self. Because free will is in unconditional love. We're led through our journey so we can see our truth. The veil is removed, and once we're at that level of wholly accepting our truth, accepting that we are divine, that we're creators, then we can choose to follow our guidance or not. It's always there for us, but we have free will to make that choice. It's like we were babies being taught to walk, and our hand was being held to help us steady and to learn, what to do and when to do it, how to do it. Then we're taught to do it on our own. And how we do it from there is up to us. And if we need a helping hand still, it's always there to guide us lovingly. And I really appreciate how this is coming together, because in the early stages of my journey, when I was just getting started with changing the way I saw myself, I began standing up for myself. And I remember saying one day that I don't want him to come back until he's ready to be there for me the way I want. And that was kind of naive in my thinking, and it was a condition, of course. But I was learning to set boundaries for myself, and it's grown from that. But as I've gone through my journey, I've learned that that's actually what's happening when they show up. It may not be a finished work, so to say, but it's in progress. But the important thing is that it's happening. As the MI, they're meant to start showing up for loved ones first, getting stable and secure in their life. They recognize their true identity, find their voice in that, and they attune to their guidance. Then they begin working on self-love, what we're guided through first. All of that represents what I now know I want for myself. And that's because it's aligning, like my boundaries are aligned with my higher self. It's not me making demands for my ego anymore. So whether he shows up or not, whether he's actually gone through all of what I've been shown or not, I know what I want for myself, which is what my soul wants, to love myself through whatever comes my way. I consciously make the choice to trust my higher self, to follow my guidance. And what I've been given as part of our dynamic, the more I open to my higher self, to our higher self, the more my twin opens to me. And as we're growing from the heart, more and more that becomes a conscious choice for him to open to me from his heart and his head.